going on, everybody? This is Tirthona Alliance here, bringing you with a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about what actually should have been in the OTS 7. Now, I'm not going to go over the horrific reprints that are in there, such as Link, Spider, and Herald of the Orange Light, on top of some random stuff like Magic Citadel of Vitamin, though some of those reprints are important, mainly because they haven't had a reprint in such a long time, or they have never had a reprint. But I want to talk about cards that are actually more important, that should have received the reprints accordingly to based on my assumptions and how they're being played and how they're being perceived throughout the game. So without any further ado, let us just jump right into the video, into what I think should be in the OTS 7, but are not, unfortunately. So the first card we have here, obviously, is Alistair the Invoker. They went with this route last OTS pack, where they put Invocation as an ultimate rare, and I'm going to also say in the same vein that Invoke Mechaba could have also been ultimate rare. One or the other. I'm not saying both of them should have been ultimate rare, but both of them would have been nice, or one of them would have been nice. Specifically Alistair, since you have to play multiple Alistair, it would be pretty cool to have it in your main deck rather than your extra deck, but I still think that it should have received the ultimate rare reprint rather than what we got, which was kind of horrific. Other than Cosmic Cyclone, I'm not going to complain about Cosmic Cyclone. In fact, I'm not complaining about the Pillars Oaks and Fossil Dig. Those are actually good reprints. And the commons are just throwaway cards anyway, so we really shouldn't worry about those either. The next ultimate rare that I think would have been cool, or the card that I think that should have been ultimate rare, is Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. This was actually rumored for quite some time to be one of the ultimate rares, but just simply didn't pan out, unfortunately. But this would have been really cool. It would have been really nice to pull some ultimate rare alternative White Dragons. I don't know why they didn't go this route. They would have made so much money off the booster pack. People would have you would probably have a lot more people entering tournaments because of that. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink of water. And it kind of just also needs a reprint. Not that this reprint would help in any way, shape, or form, but having a third rarity would definitely help for people when they get it. It's gonna be it would probably look really nice to see like this background right here where he's flying to be ultimate rare, and you could just have like his eyes be kind of ulti too. It'd be really nice, but you know, they could have went that route. Another card they could have reprinted in this is Spellbook of Knowledge. That could have been really cool as an ultimate rare. Kind of falls in the same line with the invoked stuff a little bit. They could have made the background ultimate rare, and they could have made the book shine ulti, and that would have been pretty cool as well. The reason why I say this is because, one, Spellbook Magician of Prophecy is an ultimate rare, as well as Spellbook of Secrets. Spellbook of Secrets has been an ultimate rare in OTS, I think 4 or 5. I can't exactly remember where that was at, but it would just actually add to the theme. If they're wanting to complete sets of ultis, this one would have been more permanent and a more prominent card to do that with. Another card is Soul Charge. Now, Soul Charge is kind of a controversial card. I think this card should obviously be banned for obvious reasons, but if they wanted to do it this way, they could have made this card ultimate rare, and it would have been actually really nice. Sure, it's only a one of, and you only really need one of them, and you can just sell the rest of them. But more importantly, the ultimate rare slots should be held with cards that are actually completely relevant in the game. And Soul Charge is always going to be somewhat relevant in the game forever. It doesn't matter what format it's in. Even if it's banned, it'll always still be kind of format defining or format relevant. So. Next is Monster Reborn, and I'm also going to couple Solemn Judgment in this simply because, one, these two cards just got off the ban list, and having a reprint of an ultimate rare version of both of these cards would be really nice. Monster Reborn specifically hasn't had a reprint in a way long time, I think longer than Solemn Judgment, so it would be just kind of cool to see an ultimate rare Monster Reborn. It doesn't have to be the new alternate artwork, but though they could have definitely went that route for the Lost Art promotions as well. But it would look really cool to have an ultimate rare Monster Reborn. But the original art, the regular art that we have here, is what would have been fine too. I wouldn't really complain either way. Solemn Judgment would actually kind of just follow a line with the Solemn Brethren. Other than Solemn Scolding, this having an ultimate rare with this card would be nice. simply because it hasn't had a reprint in forever. It was supposed to. I think it should have gotten a reprint in Kaiba Collection, just simply didn't. Same thing with Monster Reborn, since people didn't have the access to spend $30 at their local tournament to get Monster Reborn, and they also didn't have the money to fork out for Solemn Judgments, even though commons were like $3 or $4. But those were kind of hard to get at for some people. But having an alternate method of getting Solemn Judgment would be pretty cool. Plus, an ultimate rare would look nice. So, I think that overall it would have been really, really cool. Next, we're going to move on cards that I think that should have made that should have been super rare. I know there's not a lot of slots for both ultimate rares and super rares, but I wanted to just cast a wide net here and just see what we could come up with, or what I could come up with. And the first card here is psy-frame Driver. Since psy-frame Gear Yama just got its reprint, it would be really nice to have a super rare version of psy-frame Driver. Plus, it's the only card that is actually relevant in psy-frames that is not a super rare. Or that's not higher than that's not higher than a rare. That being said, this card would fit very well in the psy-frame engine, or the psy-frame hand trap engine, and it would be really cool to have a nice looking psy-frame Driver instead of just looking at rares. Radian. This card's got a lot of hype around it, and it's been upwards to $8 to $10 at one point. So having a super rare reprint would probably just complement it a little bit better. They've always had the chance to reprint kaijus in some capacity as super rares in some of these sets. They've done it, I think, every other set up until this point. Actually, no, I think they've done it with consecutively with like Kamungus and Dogaron. But I think both of these, or this card right here, would have been really nice as another super rare reprint. So, if not Jakirzu would also be fine. Amano-iwato, with its play in True Kings, it's really weird that they didn't go this route with True Kings, even though that deck is already on the chopping block to get hit. Amano-iwato is such a powerful card that I think it actually absolutely does need to be super rare. Though that being said, even if it wasn't compiled with True Draco, I honestly do believe that this card, despite the fact that it is a common, should have been super for its effect alone. So I honestly think this card should obviously be super for that reason. Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm, another card that should obviously be super and should not actually have ever been common. I was actually really flabbergasted when this card first came out to be a common. I think it should have been a super rare, if not an ultra rare at the very least. Secret rare would have been too much, I think. The card's not that strong for that. But super rare, definitely. I think this card would look amazing alongside with your Supreme King Gate 0 and Infinity as super rare. So I think that would make sense. Next is Miscellaneous Source. Obvious reasons. One, it's at 1, so therefore it automatically has a lot of potential and a lot of power. Even though this card isn't that as good as Soul Eating Overraptor, this card should definitely still be super regardless. Like I said, I'm not going to complain about Falso Deck whatsoever. I think that's actually needed for a long time. All the reprint of Falso Deck is very fine. But having this alongside it would have been really nice too. Gale Dagra. The reason why I think this card was here is strictly because of the price tag of the rare currently. I think at the rate that it's going now, the rare is at like $5 to $6 and upwards to $8. Gale Dagra isn't really meta defining. It's not even a relevant card, but having a reprint, since this card has no reprint whatsoever, would be really nice. Since they're going to go along with the themes of cards that don't have reprints, they could have reprinted this alongside Magical Citadel and Spell Power Grasp. So, Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion. The next, I think, abusable, quote-unquote, token generator. This card is absolutely crazy. But I think it's a rare currently, so I think a super rare would be really, really nice. The card sits at $4 for the rare, so having a nice version of a super rare would be really cool. So I honestly think this card should have been super. Plus, it's a tuner. It goes well with Crystal Needle Flavor. It would have been a great way to promote Extreme Force when they put not Extreme Force, Flames of Destruction when they put Crystal Needle Fiber in there, because they're going to do that just to sell the set. Even though the set's already insane, by the way. this is really good because it gives you that tuner that you need for your deck, so that you could use for Crystal Needle Fiber. Plus, it generates a token when it's sent to the graveyard, adding to the potency of this card. So it's really, really good. It's a strong card, so do keep that in mind. Apocalypse Towers. This card's a rare, and it hasn't had a reprint. Since again we're going along the lines with cards that don't have reprints, this is one of the cards that should have been super. Not because the deck is particularly strong, but because Apocalypse Towers does not deserve to be a rare. The card is super strong, and the card is really, really powerful. Even though it requires 3 clean monsters, this card is actually really, really stupid. But even though I don't like this card, I can see why people will want this as super rare. The card is absolutely amazing. It's a really good card. It absolutely does not deserve to be a rare anymore. Next, we're going to talk about the Performage guards. Particularly, I think Trick Clown and Damage Juggler are more likely candidates, or should have been more likely candidates to be super rare. Hat Tricker, if Hat Tricker got the super reprint, I really wouldn't have been that salty about it. It would have been fine. Same thing, but Trick Clown and Damage Juggler are obviously the best cards here. Particularly, I think Trick Clown, not Damage Juggler, I'm getting them mixed up. I think Trick Clown is the best card out of the 3, simply because of the recursion. It's really good. You only take 1,000 damage for it, so it's not that bad of an idea to take with this card. It's really, really good, and having a super rare version of this card would have been fine. Next, we're going to talk about Bamboo Swords. Both of these cards should have been super in some way, shape, or form, since they're a lot of hype, and the commons are super expensive. I think Broken Bamboo Sword is around $5, and I think Golden is around currently $7 to $8, which is really insane for both of those cards, especially for commons. Commons should never exactly be that high, I don't think, ever. So I think having a reprint of this card would make them not only easier to get for players, but it would add to the fact that this engine is still relatively strong. And the last card, we have 2 more cards. The next card we're talking about is Force Bag. Now, this actually got a lot of hype at the very tail end of this format, simply because it's a counter to Draco, and having a super rare print, despite this card only having 3 prints, 2 rares, and an ulti, this card being super rare would have been fine. It would have added to some of the possibilities with this card, and it would have been really, really nice. It would have just looked really nice. Plus, if True Dracos doesn't survive, or actually, let me rephrase that because I misspoke. If True Draco survives this ban list, this card is going to be very potent against that deck. Just saying. And the last card that we're going to be talking about is Underclock Taker. This is one of the most potent Link 2 monsters in the current game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's really good. It has a really crazy effect, and it's overall undeserving of being super. I'm really shocked this card is even a common. I think it should have been super. Some people were saying that this card was going to be secret rare, but common is absolutely crazy. Having a super rare reprint of this card would have been really, really nice. You only really need 1, but Underclock Taker is such a good card that I think it would have actually really deserved to be a super rare. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Tell me what you guys think should be ultimate or super in OTS 7. Maybe they could take some pages out of this book and maybe implement some of these changes in the future for OTS 8, but who knows. But anyway, guys, like I said, if you did enjoy, I'm going to repeat myself. If you did enjoy, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Chithon Alliance, signing out.